All right, let's do day 9. And day 9 is going to be all about the process, okay? Day 9 of 30, okay? Once again, disclaimer, I tear down and set up every single day. This microphone is amazing, but it doesn't catch me even if it's on far mode when I'm, have my back to the whiteboard. If you're only listening to this, there's a whiteboard behind me, okay? And I write some things on it just because I'm just going all over the place, okay? And also, I'm trying to tighten this up for 15 minutes, a micro podcast. Each one of these will have something you're going to learn about making the perfect business for you. Don't forget, for you, okay? Which means you make changes so that you are an owner, not an owner. You're not an operator, you're an owner. You can get out, hire a GM, hire a super controller, hire an integrator, whatever, and then you just go and do whatever you want to do and do multi-businesses. Maybe you have more businesses and other things better. You have better things to do. I'm not saying that you don't want to know what your business is doing, but come on, man. The minutia, the administration, the day-to-day operations, do you really want to do all that? A, you may not be good at it. B, you may be tired of it. C, there are other people that want to do it. And then therefore, those other people that want to do those, responsibilities, and they love those responsibilities, you're going to build the perfect business for them. They're going to come running. They're going to come running. And they want to work in that institution that you built, the perfect business. You hear what I'm saying? God, it's that easy. Anyway, the process. Okay? This is literally where everything goes to shit. Okay? The process. So we're going to go platform specific here. I'm just going to throw this out there so that you can understand. Remember, I said certain things, corporate areas, functions in your business, whatever, they can be a platform or a SaaS platform or a SaaS product or whatever you want to call it, okay? Big shout out to Miro, Miro.com. What is that? Okay, this is why it's awesome. So you can do, it's collaborative, one of those ones where you can add the whole team, but you might not have to. But here's the best part. The process is one of the services that we offer at the Automated Method. Why? Because we have a process designer we partnered with that uses Miro. So what that means is that as an owner, you go through an interview process with them, okay, or any business like them that is Miro, or hopefully Miro specific. Why? Because you can visualize. The hardest part about process design is that you probably already have a process that you designed, but it's in your head only and not in a, not digital, okay? It's not written down. Maybe it is, but it's shit, okay? You don't have any training YouTube videos. You have nothing. We won't even get into Trainual yet, okay? We won't even go there. That's another thing. But when you do talk to a process designer, what they're going to do and what we do over here with process design is we figure out all the workflow of your entire business, okay? You need to have it down somewhere digitally. Put it in a flowchart, platform like Miro, okay? Because then you can see it. It could be changed. It could be dynamic. Your team can see it. Here's the fucking grand slam. Your team can see it, okay? So you can put in like what happens when and who does what when, And then they can refer to it. And then this is what I always say with like the new protocol is I say they can check first, ask second. Do you know how much goddamn bandwidth that saves? That saves so much goddamn bandwidth to blow your fucking mind. I mean, you don't know how to calculate that, but I'm telling from experience that this whole shout out to everyone who's got the answer. I don't want to look for it myself. Is it in an email? Can you forward me the email? Can you call that person? Can you text that person? That shit gone. Right? Because you're all looking inside the nucleus, or you're all looking at inside even, to look there to see the workflow. So your process, you see it somewhere, and then your team sees it. I just keep going in a circle. But anyway, some people would like to say that this is the operations. I would say everything together, the operations, the process, the workflow, just think of it that way. Okay, just think of it that way because you have humans and you have the software. Who does what when? Okay, one of the things that I will mention is the entry point. Okay, there's two ways that I look at this. This is how the automated method comes in. We also say the entry point. So the entry point would be once we do the scope, which is a service offering we have over here to interview and make sure that we got everything in line in 30 days so that we can roll out the formula. It's a sub-service offering, the scope. The entry point is deciding what corporate area we can attack first in the beginning to show the most amount of ROI rolling out the formula. Maybe it's modern sales, maybe it's modern marketing, maybe it's a piece of those, maybe it's a new URL, maybe you think it's a new website, we'll say the URL, whatever. The entry point is this, that's how we come in. That's the first month of what we think is you need to change immediately and what SaaS platform to integrate into your, or change right away to get the most ROI. I just said that. The entry point in terms of workflow process and, all your operations and that stuff is you need to know what software platform the team members engage first for what purpose. Right? Because they could have multiple ways to do something. If all the apps are talking, if they're all natively integrated, maybe one app over another is a better entry point for certain processes. You see what I'm saying? And then also, when you start doing process design, you can start to have licenses limited and permissions can be adjusted, okay? Because certain roles and responsibilities of the humans, right? They only need to see and do so much. Maybe they don't need access to any of the platforms except one, because they all talk and they push and pull information between each other anyway, real time. So then you just break down what they actually need to see. Do they need a widget or a dashboard or you see? That's it. Okay. So their entry point in terms of how they get to communicate in your, how they work in your institution. That needs to be figured out. A process designer will be able to help you on that. And then also you get to figure out your permissions, which should be super easy as well at the same time. But you see, that's why I call a process designer is like a business owner's therapist. Because for the first time, they get everything out of their head that they didn't have out of their head before. Usually it's just verbally or a couple of, they could fill out some questionnaires, a couple recordings, maybe a Zoom recording here or there. And then that process designer maps out the best process and workflow for the humans and the applications in Miro, and you can see it. Done. And then it can be amended, edited. It's real time that way too. Now there's a million things I can see that Miro is going to do in the future. That's why I love pushing their product, because I know, oh yeah, man, they're going to get real awesome with the SaaS world, because imagine just dropping in an application, opening the application, dropping in an avatar of the team member and, drawing a line in a flowchart between the application and what they're doing there. You see what I'm saying? You can get automated technology to a whole other level that way. Starts to get scary. Anyway, but awesome scary. So that's that. So when I say straight up, one of the things that always is a big disaster is when you get a process defender, because they don't want to change, and it's not fear. I think it's more the muscle memory is just, it makes them feel comfortable. Yeah, but get out of your own fucking way, okay? Exit strategy, but you don't have exit strategy, and over here just means that you don't have to do the same things anymore, and your business will still have the revenue line being driven. Okay, that's possible. Anyway, so when you have a process defender, usually that process defender, the only information that they have about the process and the operations and the workflow is inside their fucking head. Or a few heads. And then how do you get it out? Well, that's why a process designer is necessary, because then that's how you get it out. And then you see it digitally and you're like, all right, we done? Almost. Okay, that's day 9.